one. Hello, I am Yvonne Guibert.
Hey there, and I'm Rafael Gonzalez.
And this is Deconstructing Comp. We are going to launch a podcast in 2021, and Deconstructing Comp will be all about breaking down complicated, complex comp issues into bite-sized nuggets. Right, Rafael?
You got it. We are going to slowly but surely kind of look at what's happened in the past in workers' comp, what's on our plate today, and maybe we'll discover that there's a better way of doing this, that once we break some of these components down, we really can come up with better ideas and better solutions on how workers' compensation can help even more folks.
Right. So we should call this our pilot episode number 2, because last time we had a special guest, Kristen Chavez from Work Comp Central, and we talked about Comp Laude, right?
I just think the world of her, and we did. We had an opportunity, a chance to get to talk to her and really dive in deep into all of the things that are going on with current plans for the awards and gala.
So in today's episode, we've got some more special guests, and we're calling this the Florida Sweeps. You wanna explain what the Florida Sweeps are in terms of the Comp Laude Awards?
Sure. Who would have ever known, right? 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Comp Central, a very California-based company, and David DePaulo's vision of doing a program, both educational and in awards. Who would have ever guessed those many years ago that fast forward 2019, Florida sweeps the awards? Literally, not all winners were from Florida, but some of the folks that you're about to meet, all from Florida. Who would have guessed it?
Yeah, and little tidbit. So the marketer in the room got so excited and swept up in my own excitement of winning an award for the People's Choice that I completely missed the opportunity, because we were all in Huntington Beach, California, far, far away from Florida, and completely missed the opportunity for us to gather as a group and really kind of play up the whole Florida sweep. So I have been regretting that all year. And so anyway, today you guys are in for a special treat, because we gathered the Florida sweeps entourage together, and we're going to be talking to them and see what it means to them, reflecting on the award that they won last year as we head into the Comp Laude Awards, which is just next week. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, Yvonne.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Rafael, can you believe it? Here we are with 5 of the Comp Laude winners from last year's Comp Laude Awards event in Huntington Beach.
Pretty amazing, Yvonne. And I can't believe that it's been a year. That's what's most incredible. And that we were actually able to get the 5 of us together. What an amazing...
We've actually been trying to do this for a year, and actually it's been a little longer. It was September last year. And here we are almost at Thanksgiving. So
That's right. I forgot that. Yep.
Yeah. Time flies when you're
way lately.
That's right. So first of all, I'm really honored. I'm going to kick this off by saying, so what we're doing today is talking to, as I mentioned, 5 of the Comp Laude Award winners from 2019. We had a live event in Huntington Beach, California. I believe we can all say that we're sad that we're not regathering in person, but we are dealing with a pandemic. So I'm going to kick it off, and what I would like to do is ask each of you to sort of comment on your thoughts and feelings from being at that event last year, and kind of recapturing that for a second. So I'm going to start off by saying I am very honored and just overjoyed, really, to be amongst this crowd, because one of the things that, since David DePaulo asked me to get involved with building up the Comp Laude event, was to make it more of a national event, and specifically focusing on states like Florida and Texas. And I can remember 5 years ago, I would talk to people about the Comp Laude Awards, and they'd be like, "What are you talking about? What is that?" And so now, fast forward a few years, and there are 5 award winners here from the state of Florida. So that's just a joy for me to see. And I know you guys are all, wonderful stewards of, doing the right thing in the workers' compensation environment. So just a real joy. So Rafael, I'm going to ask you next. What is it about Comp Laude that when you found out that you won an award, what did you think and what did you feel?
Oh my gosh, if all of you remember last year, I mean, I broke down in tears. I really, I couldn't believe it. You already mentioned David DiPaolo's name. I remember having a conversation or two with David about his vision, his dream, and how he had hoped that the award ceremony would do exactly what it has done. To really shed light on folks who have on the ground every day doing amazing work to help injured workers. And so to have seen the program, from a dream to the reality that it is today, and then to be a part of it and work towards that end, and then to be there and listen to your name, like, oh my gosh, how does something like that happen? To a great degree, a year later, I'm still awed by it. I'm still incredibly honored, for just even having been thought, it really is just such an amazing honor, especially as I look around, right, and I see these amazing folks that were also awarded that particular day. I mean, the hierarchy, the leadership of our industry, so really an amazing experience for me.
Well, thank you, Rafael. And we'll go over this a little bit more in a little bit. But so you were the Magna Comp Laude winner, the second highest award, and we'll get into what that means in a little bit. I forgot to say I won the People's Choice Award, which has become a really popular segment of the award, one of my favorite parts. So that was pretty cool. George, tell us what your thoughts are. How did it feel, and what do you remember about being in Huntington Beach last year?
Well, it was a wonderful place to be, a wonderful environment for all the reasons. The folks that were there, the reason that I was there, it was a splendid moment for me. The idea that I would go as a national finalist for the defense attorney category was just thrilling for me. And then to actually have, like Rafael says, to hear my name in that large group as the one for the defense of the year, I just really, it was pretty much a pinnacle career moment for me, and kind of almost tied with another one. I've been workers' comp my whole career from day one out of law school. And sometimes you get a feeling like, what about the world outside, And so one thing I did was I sort of became president of our chapter of the American Inns of Court, which to me in the late 90s was the pinnacle because it was an acceptance of the world from outside workers' comp, which was my first interaction with that world, so to speak, of the conventional bar in a major way. And that felt very gratifying for me. And then to have this recognition, and it's hard to talk about without sounding terribly vain, but I guess this is the moment to do so. To have this recognition, to go to California and come home with the national, Comp Laude Award for the defense. I was on cloud nine the whole time, and the environment and the whole environment of Work Comp Central that they put on, and what I said in my few remarks to the little interview that you receive after the award, being around the injured workers was also very fulfilling for me, and that was something that we don't see in our other environments very often or very much. And here it was an integral part of the ceremony. And to interact with them and to have some recognition that we have, even in the defense, had an open heart to these people who are the injured employees is a very important feeling for me to have. And it was the summary of my my People's Choice speech, actually, the most touching confirmation that I had ever had that I was doing the right thing on behalf of the injured worker, from my vantage point as the defense attorney. So these things all just came into one nice knot of happiness and confirmation for me, and I'll just never forget it.
Well, that's right. So you and I share a double intersection in that, the Comp Laude Award and the People's Choice. So, you know, that we were part of that group as well. And that was super awesome to be in that group with you. So thank you, George. Michele, once again, thanks so much for joining us. I know your schedule is super busy. All of us have super busy schedules right now, but I remember you in particular had to do some pretty fancy juggling last year.
Yeah, it's funny to think that it's been a year, but I was actually in Burbank on business. So I was with Disney for 24 years. I've since left Disney to join the Walmart family, but at the time I was at a meeting, and I honestly didn't intend to come to the award ceremony because I thought there's no way I can leave to get to Huntington Beach on time and get there. And I kept getting messages saying, "Are you coming? Are you coming?" I'm like, gosh, why do they care that I'm coming? I'm clearly not going to win this award. So, I mean, it just, you know, I didn't intend to even attend the award ceremony because I couldn't attend the conference due to the work conflicts. And then I'm like, gosh, they're really being insistent. You know, I need to make this work. So I left a meeting early and drove like a madwoman in California traffic to get there on time. And yeah, and then when I won and found out I won, I was like, oh, okay, I guess it was worth making the extra trip down here. It was a beautiful drive, and it was a great drive back. But yeah, so it was definitely an interesting thing. But you know, as I've reflected on that award, you know, I worked for a company, right? I worked for Disney, you know, greatest entertainment company and vacation destination in the world. And I just have such affinity for the brand. And now I work for, you know, Fortune 1 company, Walmart, and leading claims organizations. And that award was so important because it wasn't about me. I represent the organization that I lead, but I don't have a great organization without really great people that work for me. And that's so true. I think I feel like, you know, I came up in the claims organization. I started out as a claims assistant with Summit Consulting in Lakeland, Florida, many moons ago. Got into workers' compensation really by accident. And it has been life-changing for me, what this industry has done. You know, I have 2 children and 2 degrees that I secured while I was, you know, in this going through and growing as a claims professional. And I know what it's like to be an adjuster. And I know what it's like to feel like, you know, you're sometimes seen as the single point of positive or negative. And to receive this award, you know, for me, it was very much about all of the work that I had done to make this an honorable profession and to make employers who care for injured workers as part of their program, which would also be true for TPAs, insurance companies, others. But we touch the injured worker probably more than anybody. We get pulled at both sides. You know, whether it's defense, whether it's the plaintiff attorney, the medical community. But at the core of that is caring for a person whose life was going fine until something unfortunate happened. And knowing that the organization that I worked for at the time with Disney had a program that was seen as being, you know, such at the top of the game, that you all would want to, you know, number 1, nominate me, and then number 2, you know, that I would receive this award. That is, yeah, it's hard for me to really find the words to say what an honor it is, because I don't see that as Michele's award. I see it as all of the people who, you know, have started out as as an assistant by accident and ended up being a decision maker at a program that really touches many lives every day. So it's an incredible honor. I'm so happy to see that this conference is going to happen again this year. Nobody wants to do these things via Zoom, but I'm glad to see that it's happening because it's too important to skip, and people are working really hard. Man, if 2020 hasn't taught us anything, it's how to do calisthenics and handle everything working at the same time, working from home. imagine our industry having tried to do this 10 years ago. It would have been an unmitigated disaster.
Oh yeah.
But you know what we're doing today, and I'm glad we're taking time to honor people in this industry, because I truly do believe it's a noble cause.
Well, thanks, Michele. And just for the record, so you were the top award winner, the Summa Comp Laude winner, which is also now known as the David J. DiPaolo Award. So
Yep.
Congrats again. And Bob, thank you for being so patient.
Oh, that's fine. I always just like to think you saved the best for last. I know it's not true, but I like to humor myself. The beauty of going last is I get to play off other people's comments, and a couple things Michele said. Primarily, she's not the only one who may not have shown up not understanding why she should be there. The year before, if you remember, David Langham, another Floridian, go Florida, okay, won, I think, Magna Comp Laude, and he'd had a very long travel day and had figured there was nothing for him to see there. He'd already gone back to his hotel. He was back at his jammies, and I got to text him and tell him to get dressed and come back because he just won. So
well, I called him and told him to get out of bed and come back. So
well, he didn't believe me when I first texted him, but you know, everyone who knows David knows he's extraordinarily humble, probably one of the smartest people I've ever met, yet he will be the last person to acknowledge that. But the other point Michele made, which I really liked, is she got into workers' comp by accident. And I've made great points over the years of pointing out that we have all gotten into workers' comp by accident. However, it's a tremendous industry, and it's like Hotel California. You can check out, but you can never, ever leave. The faces always stay the same, even if the company names change. Right, Rafael? Names change? Sorry, I'm looking at my webcam, which is actually not operating today, so I'm on my iPhone through my computer, so I've got to remember to look at the proper camera. But really, to be awarded the Industry Leader Award was a really humbling experience. It's a tremendous acknowledgement from your peers in the industry. But the reason it really is so important is because Comp Laude is so much different than all the other functions that we see in workers' comp. All the other conferences, the events, really talk about what workers' compensation is. And what Comp Laude looks at is what workers' comp can and should be. It's a different focus, and as already been pointed out, it involves injured workers. It looks at different perspectives than what we normally address. And I think it was important. It was very touching to be honored, because a lot of us, all of us here, I think, have advocated for a better workers' compensation system. And that's why Comp Laude resonates so much, why David's original mission resonates so much, and why it's been a success. And like others, I'm happy to see it go on. I'm sorry it's virtual. It's not the same. It's not the same as the camaraderie you get when you're all in person. Rafael can't buy me drinks. It's very depressing, actually. But other than that, it's good to see it go on, and hopefully we will next year be able to continue on in a more normal fashion.
We hope. And one other thing I'll point out that's unique about you winning the award is, I'm sure you've gotten comments, I know that we have, but it really, to me, underscores, it's something that I say a lot about this event, is a lot of people call it the Work Comp Central, Comp Laude Award, and it's true. Work Comp Central is the host, if you will, of the event. But the thing that David wanted this event to be is including as many stakeholders in the system as possible. And he wanted the event to be by the industry. So that's why we have an advisory board, and the advisory board members like yourself, Bob, and Rafael. So there's a lot of work that goes into the awards event, the whole thing. It's going on all year long. But so I know a lot of people have told me, Bob, I don't know if you've gotten this comment too, but it's like Work Comp Central actually gave an award to its competitor.
Yeah, no, actually, because I had the same reaction and I was on stage. Really? Are you guys serious? No, I think, David and I talked about it years ago, and David said, you need to get involved in this. And he encouraged us to get involved. And we've been, we've sponsored, I've been on the advisory board. I've done vetting, I've done judging, I've done nominating, the nominating committee, because we believe in the cause. And we've often talked about this as a place where you put aside your logos and you look at a common cause of what's better for the industry. And I think I thought it spoke very well of everyone, not that you just gave me an award, but that I graciously accepted it. So no, I think it's it really does speak well. It's not about competition, and it's not about corporate entities. It's about the idea and the concept, and I think everybody gets behind that.
Yeah, and there's a lot behind. You guys have all touched on this, but there's a lot of components that run through Comp Laude that, in David's mind, the reason he wanted to do them that way is because he felt in his heart that it would bring us closer together as an industry. And I can say, having been there and hearing the idea in his head and sort of watching it evolve over the years, I think he would be super proud to see how it has evolved, because it definitely does bring us closer together. And Bob, on your point of, you have been a strong supporter since you got involved, so we really do appreciate that, all of you. You guys have all become great advocates of Comp Laude. So thank you guys again for joining us. Does everybody have their award handy by any chance, so we can do an actual?
Mine is in storage. So sorry.
Yeah, I moved in July. I think mine's still packed, honestly, really.
Yeah, I was supposed to be moving to Arkansas, and everything's been put on hold. So everything from my office is sitting in a storage container.
Well, so Michele and Bob, you guys can pretend.
Maybe you can like superimpose one on.
So
really?
Here's our little photo moment. Here's our little photo moment. All of us holding up the award. And so real quick, round robin, really fast, because I know you guys have to go. What are your words to? So Michele and Rafael, you guys are going to be part of this year's award ceremony, because you're going to hand off the award to this year's winner. So I'll start with you again, Rafael. Actually, let me start from the bottom. Bob, what words do you have for the finalists this year? And
how'd I get on the bottom? That's what I want to know. What do you mean?
You're on the bottom. You're on the bottom.
I'm going to go I immediately think of Mr. Wilson. Let's go to the bottom.
No.
But I digress. Go ahead.
Reverse order. So
What
real quick, what words do you have for this year's finalists and potential winners of the award ceremony?
I would wish them all luck and to carry on the tradition. You're recognized for a reason, I would believe, and keep that momentum moving forward in the right direction. It's a great industry, great people, but we could stand to use some improvements, and that's what Comp Laude is all about. That's where the ideas are.
All right, thank you, Bob. And Michele?
I think I would just say to both nominees and the recipients, it's not a cliche when you say it's just an honor to be nominated, but it truly is. I mean, your peers have taken the time to say something that you do stands out and is worthy of recognition. And that taking that time and just kind of really being thoughtful and thinking about that, it really is a testament to what you're doing. We live in such a society where it's so much easier to do a negative review than a positive review. And so the fact that somebody would stop to do that, and then I do believe that, what I want to see is this year's and future recipients to outdo all of us, right? For what we do to look so quaint one day, because they've taken it so far beyond where we could even imagine that we are. And so I'm just really, honored to be part of the Florida suite, but just to also have my name alongside other nominees and recipients. So just congratulations to everybody, and give yourself a big pat on the back. It's well deserved.
Thanks, Michele. Thank you. George?
Thinking about it as you asked, I'd like to talk about the elephant in the room. All of us have gone through days that were terrible in our work. We've gone through cases and moments. We've dealt with life and death in many respects, like physicians in an operating room. We've dealt with life and death cases. And there have been very, very trying days on that route that took us here. It hasn't been all this rainbow happiness ice cream party that we're having today. So that tunnel passes, those cases passes, and you accumulate wisdom, and you accumulate hurt, and you accumulate understanding and enlightenment, one hopes. And so the message I would impart to those who are coming to this point now is welcome to the enlightenment. And when you are out there viewing this proceeding, know that we know what you have gone through. It's a dark day now and then. It's not all roses. And it takes a whole lot of stamina and empathy and stick-to-itness to reach this point. And so it is not like that wonderful movie you made. It's that incredibly hands-on, nose to the grindstone, blood, sweat, and tears career that you are being recognized for. There is this sort of recognition, and we can enjoy our moment having paid our dues, so to speak.
Thank you, George. Well said. And Rafael?
Wow, well said is right. So for me, this is an opportunity to not only congratulate these folks and welcome them as George just did, but to accentuate the industry that we're, all of us, a larger part of, right? When we think about at the heart of everything that's going on, right? There's an employer, there's an employee, both of whom need help and assistance and understanding and guidance. And what a wonderful thing that, you know, we have a day like this to be able to, you know, put the flashlight, if you will, on a few individuals to say, thank you. Thank you so much for what you're doing every single day, for giving back, for treating people with decency and honor and respect, for living up to the promise of this workers' compensation system that we're all in love with and such a part of, and all of us have made our entire lives. So for me, it's this, you know, this grand celebration of thanks. Thanks for doing what you do. We really appreciate it. We're better because of each of these individuals. Our industry is better because of each of them contributing in their own special way. I love it. I just love it.
Well, thank you guys. I know I have to let you go because you have other things to do today. So thank you once again so much. I just want to end by saying, I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining me today, taking the time to share a little bit. And please, everybody that's watching, join us Thursday, December 3rd. That's next week at 4:45 Eastern to find out who the 2020 Comp Laude Award winners are. I just got chills. Right. So thank you guys.
So we have to end our reign?
You got another week, and then you're gonna hand it off.
You have to give up the crown, I guess. That's it.
They didn't tell me that.
Providing your awards.
You have to find print.
Bye, everybody.
Have
Thank
a great
you.
Thanksgiving.
Hello, Yvonne here, all by myself this time because I had to get my wits about me and step aside from the coordination component of this. That was great hearing from everybody. We had a Florida sweep last year at the Comp Laude Awards, and I talked a little bit about the award that I won, but I wanted to take a couple minutes and expand on it. So last year I won the People's Choice Award, which is one of my favorite segments of the entire Comp Laude Awards and Gala. And for the last few years, this year will be the 4th year we've worked with Greg McKenna of Gallagher Bassett. And he's done a fabulous job building this up and helping us reach the full potential for what I think David DiPaolo envisioned this segment to be. And David's idea was for people to get up on stage at our conference and share a personal story. 6 minutes is all you have. I think I went a little over. But you get 6 minutes to tell your personal story. And the idea is by sharing a personal story, it helps bring us closer together. It helps us all in the industry become more connected. And so my story was very personal, and it was about me growing up with an abusive stepfather. And I got to tell you, it was one of the scariest, most nerve-wracking things I've ever done. When I got up on stage last year, my knees were knocking, my hands were shaking, and yes, my voice cracked quite a few times. But I pushed through it, and I got through it, and I was so surprised to hear my name called out as the winner of the People's Choice. I was among some very great storytellers last year. And so I feel very honored. I'm so looking forward to this year. This year, I mean, this segment just keeps getting better and better. And this year, it's just going to knock your socks off. So I hope you will join us next, not this week, but Thursday, December 3rd for the Comp Laude Awards ceremony, and the whole day. We've got the injured worker panel with Kimberly George of Sedgwick first thing, and then we've got the People's Choice segment, which is going to be amazing, and then finally the awards ceremony where we find out who is going to be an award winner in 2020. So hope you'll join us. In the meantime, have a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching. Take care.